What's up, guys? Firefist Ace from Team Blind MST here with the deck profile from the regionals. We just got back from what was it, this weekend? Yeah, this weekend.
Yeah.
Here's Joel.
How you guys doing? This is Wonderworld Joe from Wonderworld Joe's YouTube channel. This is my team. These are all my buddies. I'm going to be linking all the videos over. So I'm going to get right into the deck profile. As usual, we're running Karakuri Geargia. Here we go. Triple Geargiarmor, a.k.a. Playmaker Coon. He makes everything happen. Enough said. You know anything about this deck, you know he's the man. Triple Accelerators. Accelerator is also the man. He's how you usually OTK. All of the OTKs, you need Accelerator. You don't even necessarily need Armor, but you do need Accelerator. 3 MK2s. There are a few OTKs generated with him. 2 Geargianos. 2 Arsenals.
Why run 2 of this? Because I don't know much about the deck, but I know that this gets you armor.
He's extra armor. That's exactly why you run him. He's extra armor. So if you draw and you open with him instead of armor, you summon him, use his effect, and go into armor and bow. You just open with the armor. He's running 5 of 1 monster. That's really good. Some of the MK2 loops, OTK loops, you need to go into him. You know, if he's there, that way you can go into Geargiaccelerator. So you can Birdman Accelerator back to your hand and then get him back on the board.
But why not 3? It seems
3 is cloggy.
Oh, okay.
3 is cloggy.
That's what I assumed. Go on.
3 Ninpachis, 2 Saizens, 2 Effect Veilers, and 1 Birdman. For spells, 3 MSTs, and that is it for spells, guys. I don't like Iron Call. I think Iron Call is a bad card. Iron Call requires on you to have... I know there are Iron Call OTKs. Obviously, I know there are OTKs generated off of Iron Call all by itself. Well, it's not Iron Call all by itself, though. Which is why I don't like Iron Call, because it requires you to have a monster on board. It's just a different version of an MK2 OTK. So, I don't know. Not a card for me. Traps. 3 Geargiagear.
The return? Possibly, kind of?
Abyss Sphere. Double Abyss Sphere.
Fair enough.
Card is nasty. Triple Trap Stun.
That is nasty.
$10 card, guys. That value went up from like nothing to $10. Like, obviously, that card is worth it. It might get hit, actually. Also, another discussion for another time. Triple Fiendish Chains. Double Mirror Forces. Double D Prisons. And the Solemn Compulse Bottomless. The reason we don't run Torrential in this deck is because this is a building OTK and not a massive OTK like Mermails or Madolches or this new Cyber Dragon stuff. We require on building up board presence turn by turn until we wind up going all in for the OTK. We don't just sit on everything in our hand and go for it. So that's why we don't run Torrential. And that is the main deck. Extra deck. We got 2 Bureidos. Bureido helps you set up hand advantage. He's also a 28 beater. Every time you summon Bureido, you get to draw a card for free. And then turns after that, he's more hand advantage. He's nasty. I don't know why one would not run Bureido. That's all I can say about that. Triple Burei. Burei is nasty, guys. Burei is the best. This is why all of Karakuri Geargia players run 3 Bureis. What people don't realize with Burei is that with when you can put a Burei on board and you have a bad hand, let's say you draw into that armor, you can set armor, use Burei's effect to flip him back face up, search. So forced effects. Burei also stops you from running into Honest, Bujinji Crane, Fire Formation Tenkin, Tensen, anything nasty, all that nasty shit. You don't have to run into it with your friendly neighborhood Burei.
He starts the loop, doesn't he? Kind of like he gets you.
Either one of them start the loop. It doesn't matter that much.
Okay.
They both summon the Karakuri tuner when they get hit board. So, all right. 1 Barkion. I believe it might be a personal tech choice. I don't know if people are running Barkion. I know when this deck first came out, they were not. And Barkion is, you can effortlessly make Barkion at the end of any loop. And He helps you close out games. Barkion has won me a countless number of games. Barkion does work.
I feel like he's nasty because if you don't have the traps done and you're afraid to push for game, he still lets you.
That's actually usually how it goes. Actually, you're right. He comes through, and then people, they wind up scooping or whatever. And I'm like, what did you have? They're like, oh, dude, I had everything. I had the deep prisons and the mirror forces and that Barkion though. So that's why we run that Barkion though. One Stardust Dragon because. It's a synchro deck, guys. That is my biggest problem with Karakuri Geargia. It's not an XYZ deck. It's a synchro deck. So that's why we run the Stardust Dragon. Any synchro deck that hits level 8, you run Stardust Dragon. Crimson Blader. This is my Nats build. my regionals build. He was in here for Mermail trouble, and he didn't get made once. So he's coming out. One Mist Wurm, another personal tech choice. I'll show you guys how we make that. And Mist Wurm's obviously good because he helps you board wipe before you OTK. One Star Eater. Star Eater helped me win a game at regionals, and I also just love Star Eater as a card. Like I said, this is a synchro deck. Also, I believe any synchro deck that could make Star Eater should run Star Eater. 2 Geargigant X's. The only reason I'll run 2 is I've been running this deck for about 2-3 months. 2-3 months. I faced Geargigant X was like cursed or some shit, and the curse hasn't gone away. He always gets the Bottomless or the Compulse or the Fiendish Chain or some bullshit that stops me from using its effect, and I need to use its effect. So we run 2 Geargigant X's because if you ever need Geargigant X, you need Geargigant X.
You want him there. Yeah,
you have to have him. One Exciton Knight. Exciton Knight is amazing card. Obviously, we all know that. Exciton Knight won me a game. I was thinking about making Geargigant X because I needed to start generating advantage again, and I just couldn't figure out what I wanted to Geargigant X for, and then I was like, oh shit, I'm running Exciton Knight. Maybe I'll make this thing and see how it goes, but we'll get there later. One Zenmaines helps you stall out a little bit. He's easy to make. And one Dracossack.
The game plane.
The game plane. We all remember Dracossack.
You were running Fortune Tune at one point, weren't you?
I was running Fortune Tune. This extra deck has changed a lot. Just a lot of stuff had to come out and make it better and whatnot. Fortune Tune is still an amazing card, guys. I ran Fortune Tune at my first regionals with this deck just for issues of if I went into time. I got into a situation where I went into time. I made Fortune Tune, and he did not win me the game like I planned, so he had to come out because he wasn't fulfilling his purpose. So, hey, you test and you learn. So the way we make Mist Wurm, reason we run Mist Wurm, hold on, let me get this Mist Wurm out. Wow. The way we make this thing is any OTK loop that we got going on, whether it's a Geargigant X field loop or armor field loop, we get 3 monsters on board, which include, whatever, and 2 Burei, and we end the loop with Ninpachi. So, wow, we end the loop with Ninpachi. 4 monsters on board. You're like, there's no way Dracossack is viable here. You're wrong. You go into Dracossack as such, and then you make tokens. And this is obviously not a push for game. This is game right here, whether you believe it or not, because your opponent can't recover from this. Nobody has yet. And my buddies are in here not stopping me from telling this fabrication, I guess.
I wouldn't before that, but go on.
Bow. The tokens are level 3, whether you know it or not. Now you know. And you Mist Wurm. Board wipe. Whew. Yu-Gi-Oh! I love this game. Love it. So that's that.
Side deck?
Side deck. We go, I was running a system down. So the other 14 cards I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you 15 cards. Actually, I'm going to show you what is in this instead of system down. But the other 14 cards were in here for regionals, including this, and they were hand-picked, handcrafted cards to give me what I believe is one of the best side decks in the game right now. System down.
Would you replace it with?
Soul Drain, most definitely. Soul Drain is actually a good Yu-Gi-Oh card. System down is thought to be a good Yu-Gi-Oh card, though.
Sucks you didn't have that Soul Drain. Did you miss it at regionals?
Not really. I played 3 Mermails and I lost to 1, so I can't say that Soul Drain made the big of a difference. System down is thought to be a good card, though, because anybody that runs this deck or has ran this deck knows that your biggest problem, other than Ophion, is the mirror match. So system down is thought to be the best card in the mirror match because it takes away any comeback they have. They literally have to have answers in their hand if they want to come back from system down. System down, I have seen through testing, is a card that is too little too late. in the mirror match because they OTK you, and if they don't win, they put so much damage on board. You don't have 1,000 life points left to system down them with. The actual good card for the mirror match is Enemy Controller. I lost the mirror match to Enemy Controller. He took my Geargigant X. So, what can you do? So now, though, we'd go with the Soul Drain. Defissure. Macro. 2 Curse of Darkness. Rivalries. 2 Overworked. Trip Shadow. Trip Light.
Those dual terminals.
Those dual terminals, though. These things... I picked up the whole play sets of both of them for less than $5, and they're worth more than that each. It's nasty.
What's the Curse of Darkness for? That's not seldom seen.
Curse of Darkness. So for those of you that don't know what Curse of Darkness does, each time a spell card is activated, the player that activated that spell card takes 1,000. As a Yu-Gi-Oh player, I have a bad matchup against spell books. I just do. Any of you guys out there that are really real Yu-Gi-Oh players, you know you have a bad matchup just as a player with whatever deck you're running against one deck. My deck is spellbooks, so I found this card. I remembered this card from back in the day. I was like, I'm using this card. Fuck spellbook players. They can activate all the spellbooks they want. I'm sacking their ass. Pay me. So, bow. As I get to playing Yu-Gi-Oh, I realize that this side deck doesn't have too many things in here to side deck against. Brohood of the Fire Fist, which is the... I don't know. One of the 2 best decks in the format right now. I believe this is definitely the other one.
Definitely top 3.
You know, okay, I'll go top 3. I'll let Mermaids get their little shine because that guy won the thing. Sure, that's fine. He's just a good Yu-Gi-Oh player. I don't think that deck is that good. I think he's a really good Yu-Gi-Oh player and sacked a lot of people. Curse of Darkness goes really good against Brofist. Those Tenkis, those Tensins, those Goyokus, those are spell cards, guys. They have to activate. Not Tensin, I'm sorry, Tenki and Tensu. Funny story how I got this Yu-Gi-Oh! Day mat. I won this. I'm playing round 3 against a Brofist player. And I open whatever 5 back row in the armor, including this. Flip this as soon as he draws his card. He's like, that's fine. He goes, Tensu. I'm like, that's fine. 1,000. Pay me. That's why this card is there. Pay me. He's like, that's fine. He's like, Tenki. I'm like, that's fine. Pay me. He's like, that's fine. Right after that, before he's even resolved his search, the host of the tournament walks in and says, that is time in the round. This is the final round for this mat right here, and you guys see it. So that's a long story, as short as it can get.
Alright, so interesting side deck. Definitely some nice tech choices there. So give me a regional recap. What'd you play in the rounds?
At regionals, round 1, I played Hieratic Rulers. Won the dice roll. Got sacked. Went first. Got sacked.
The triple lights, though.
I got sacked by Wingbeat. I opened MST, Fiendish Chain, Gear, and some little bitty baby monster. He opens up Special Tenderfoot. I'm like, that's fine. He's like, Wingbeat. I'm like, what? Good game. So... round 2, though, I got sacked. We went to game 2, I got sacked. I just got sacked. He did it. Round 2, I played Mermails. Game 1, I lose. I lost the dice roll. I lose the game 1. Win game 2 with a quick OTK. I got to go first and set up. Game 3, we're playing and we're grinding. And I swear I'm supposed to lose. And I'm looking at my play options. I have a Geargiano in my hand. And this is why, actually, I'm going to use this story to explain why I run more than one Geargiano too, so while I'm at it. I have Geargiano in my hand and Accelerator. Geargiano's good because he makes secret plays that a lot of people don't know about. He contributes himself for a level 4, so in your graveyard. So Geargiano is either a level 3 in your hand or a level 4. Geargiano is also a tuner in your hand if you have Saizen in your graveyard. So that is amazing. So with the Saizen in the graveyard, I know this, I have a Geargiano and Accelerator in hand. So I'm like, if I want to, I can go into Geargigant X. But I'm like, what does Geargigant X do for me? And I just could not figure out the monster I wanted to add from my deck to my hand. I'm like, nothing in this situation is going to do me any good. He had some Mermail monster on board. I think it was Abyss Pike. And he had a big Mermail monster on board. He had a big monster on board and one back row. And I mean, when you're playing Mermails, you know when that back row is Abyss Sphere or not. So I knew it was the Abyss Sphere. I'm like, Exciton Knight. I run this now. Literally put this in there only for regionals because a buddy asked me to use it who also runs Karakuri Geargia. I'm like, you would run that thing? You can fit it? I found room for it, ran it, won me the game. I normaled, specialed, activated his effect for Saizen, and overlaid for Exciton Knight. I'm like, effect. He says, fine. Chain Abyss Sphere. Brings out a Lindy. Lindy dies. He brings out a Pike. Pike drops Gundy from hand. Adds whatever to hand. Gundy brings out another Pike, and he does whatever else. I'm like, what? I'm pissed. I'm like, I Exciton Knight into still not having board advantage. I thought that was the whole point of this card. Why is it $70? He's like, whatever, man. Finish playing the game. I don't want to go into time. I'm like, that's fine. Attack. He's like, you can't. I look down at the card. I'm like, damn it, that's right. That sucks. I'm like, fuck it. Blow it up again. He's like, I think you can only use that card once per turn. I'm like, no. He starts, you know how us Yu-Gi-Oh players, right? We all get really cocky when we think we know what a card does, and we start reading our opponent the card from the other side of the table. So as he's reading me the card, he's like, once per turn. I'm like, once per chain? He's like, huh? Let me read that. Oh, damn, I didn't know you could do that. I'm like, yeah, well, hey. Pass turn to him. He draws and passes turn back to me. Doesn't do a thing in the world. Passes turn back to me. I'm like, oh, shit. Exciton Knight just won me a game. Round 3, I play a +1 Brofist deck. Match 1, he wins. I wind up making a really bad misplay that wind up losing me all the advantage I could possibly find, and he wind up kept plussing. So that was that. And round 2, we're dueling. Gigantic grind game. 20-minute grind game. I couldn't draw into any monsters needed to perform any type of loops, and all of his monsters I was flogging off board with back row, because that's all I had was back row. So I was just beating his monsters off my board. Because this is my board. I'm playing Karakuri Geargia. This is my shit. I wind up resolving a macro like turn 1 or whatever. Game gets to a point in time. I have something in my hand to do something. We're in time, actually. And this is my turn 2. I'm turn 2 right now. I activate the trap stun.
There you go. Steals games. Another
reason you run Geargiano at more than 1 is, for the 3 Gears, but it's an instant monster. So I normal summon Mk II, special summon Geargiano from the graveyard, tribute Geargiano for Saizen, as always, sink for 7, bring out the Bureido, or bring out the Burei, activate Burei's effect, bring out the Saizen from the deck. Because I'm like, I might need to make a Star Eater here after this turn. I might need to make Star Eater and Star Eater it up. I have Trap Stun, like, this is my board facing him, Trap Stun sitting right here. He's like, I'm like, attack Thunder King. He's like, no, wait a minute, what? I would have Thunder King'd the Burei if I was paying attention. We're at regionals, guys. I'm like, nah, we're way past this. He's like, he calls a judge. Judge comes over, and the judge is trying to, find out how we can repair the game state and if he can allow this ruling to go down. One of the bystanders says, Macro's on board. You can't Thunder King anyways. The player's like, fine. The judge walks away. We continue. I kill Thunder King, blah, blah, blah. When I go to kill Thunder King, he's like, D-prison. I'm like, trap stun. He's like, that's fine. We intern. He draws. And then he's like, holy shit. Damn it. I could have Thunder King'd. Macro was trap stunned. So there we go. That was that game. Sunk into Star Eater and pushed through his Mirror Force face down and drew with him. Round 4. I know this is taking long, guys. I'm sorry. I'm long-winded. I'm having fun. Round 4 was round 4, I got a bye. I was sitting next to the guy that I just drew with. He was playing some spellbook guy. And, alright. It's random. Round 5, I played Mermails and I lost. Round 6, I don't really remember. The only thing I do remember important from round 6 is that spellbook guy from round 4 was still right next to me. He was like a table away from me still. And he's like, oh, it looks like we're following each other. I was like, yeah, it looks like it. He's like, oh, well, we might duel each other if we keep this up. I was like, all right, maybe. Round 7, I play Mermails and stomp them. And round 8, I play that spellbook guy.
Damn.
Game 1, I go ham on him. It was just nasty. He couldn't resolve a blue boy for the life of him. First blue boy got Fiendish Chain. Second blue boy got Effect Veiler. Third blue boy got Fiendish Chain. I loved it because I hate spell books. I love fucking them with the fat ass one. Fucking game 2, I side deck in my Curse of Darknesses, Light-Imp Mirror, guys. This is what your sideboard should look like for spell books, because I don't know if people know that these are the cards you want against spell books, but these are the cards that tear up spell books. One of the guys that we duel with a lot runs spell books, and this is I learned this from dueling him a lot, that this is what tears him apart. This is the sideboard.
Not everybody can run Curse of Darkness, but...
Not everybody can run Curse of Darkness. Most people can run Light-Imp Mirror. If you are asking why Light-Imp Mirror, after they get done fading you 18 times, and they do all the blue boy and all the little bullshit searches, they need to go into Priestess or World to win. Light-Imp Mirror nerfs both of them. So that's why you do the Light-Imp Mirror. It stops them from getting any big play. Curse of Darknesses makes them pay life points for all the spell cards, and the macro banishes everything. So... Yu-Gi-Oh! I wind up resolving both Curse of Darknesses against him, and he didn't draw one spellbook card. That's really why he lost the second round. He didn't draw any spellbook cards. He just drew all of the back row, and it couldn't help him because I had the OTK in hand plus these, so it was nasty.
So a hot 2-0?
Hot ass 2-0. Hot ass 2-0. He was like, damn, I don't know. It was bad.
So what was your final record for regionals this?
5-2-1. Took 33rd place. It was top 32. So that's disappointing, but...
It happens. You got it next time, though,
next time.
All right, this is Team Blind MST, signing out.